The Habsburg line was so inbred that Charles II could barely eat, speak, or take care of himself. The family married themselves to keep the pure royal blood, but it ended causing lots of issues for the next generations, especially Charles, the last Habsburg. His parents were uncle and niece, his mother was his cousin, and his father was his granduncle. His grandparents from both sides were cousins too. From most sides of the family it was inbred, in the end coming from the same ascendants. Charles was so weak he could barely do anything. He didn't have basic hygiene. He couldn't eat at all, or speak clearly. He wasn't able to be king. He couldn't conceive a child even after years. Somehow he managed to live for 39 years. When he finally died, the doctor who made his autopsy said he did not have blood. His heart was the size of a peppercorn. His lungs were corroded. His intestines rotten. He had a single testicle black as coal, and his head was full of water. It's not sure if it was true, but taking his medical history, anything can be expected.
In 1630 in France, a queen turned the most luxurious palace in Europe into a place of filth. Her name was Anne of Austria, remembered not for power or beauty, but for a stench so strong it seemed to poison the air. Convinced that water spread disease, she went years without bathing. Her skin became covered with layers of grime, exhaling a smell described as a mix of rotting flesh and hot sewage. Servants claimed they could sense her presence before they even saw her, but the tragedy did not end there. Anne never brushed her teeth. Her breath was compared to rotting meat mixed with spoiled cheese, and her teeth fell out one by one. Her clothes? She wore them until they literally fell apart on her body, soaked with sweat and filth. The most macabre detail? When her husband died, she refused to bury him. She kept the coffin in her room and slept beside it every night. While the court suffocated in the stench, Anne lived as if it were normal. A queen who pushed both power and madness to the limit.
Did you know European nobles used to take care of their business in hallways and on staircases? The Palace of Versailles, supposed to be the most luxurious place in Europe, was also the smelliest. The royal families lived surrounded by marble, urine, and filth. They had a chamber pot under the bed, and getting a bath once a month was considered a luxury. They were afraid of water, thinking soap would weaken their bodies. Instead, they covered the dirt with powders and perfumes. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the Mayans revered water as a deity. They bathed every morning with soaps made from flowers, volcanic ash, and aromatic plants. They even built sacred steam baths, not just to cleanse the body, but to purify the soul. In the jungle, they created drainage systems, gardens, and clean cities, not for vanity, but out of spiritual devotion. Europeans walked in silk among the filth, while the Mayans, barefoot, stayed pure inside and out.